Right then, Glenn. So if we look at these wedge swings, okay, I think last lesson we discussed increasing your backswing, okay, trying to complete the backswing so your sequence and timing's better. I think that's kind of sort of moved into your shorter shots where you try to say complete the backswing, but you just kept going back so far. These two shots, this one was going about 60 yards or 70 yards, give or take. This was around about 75, 80 yards. Not that dissimilar in terms of how far they were going to go, okay, or in terms of how far you want to go, okay. This was your backswing length. Yeah. Again, great position, but that looks like a full swing. If I said, okay, how far is this golfer going now, Glenn, with a club that goes 100 yards fully, that's going pretty full, isn't it, yeah?
That was one of the last two shots.
No, this is your before. This is your before. This is your full length.
Right.
This one now is your shorter backswing.
Right.
To there. Okay, so you've taken a lot less power in the swing. Your arms haven't gone back as far. So by having that shorter backswing, if the club doesn't go back as far as opposed to this one, you create less power. So less power being created enables you, okay, to come back down and accelerate that club through the golf ball. Because you're accelerating the club through, look where that ball strikes the golf screen there. Pretty much dead centre of that white line, okay? Pulled it a little bit to the left, okay? Not a problem. This one here now, because you're kind of coming down a little bit quitty on it, okay? That ball now hits right at the line and started drifting off to the right. So the contact up here now, that line is just about up here at the top. So your ball has kind of hit there. Now if you've got any little left to right in your shot's going to sort of go and then just drift off to the right. A weaker kind of cutty one. Probably coming up short because you mishit it slightly. Added a bit of loft and the contact wasn't as good. So if you have a variety of contacts, both where on the club face, hitting the ground before or thinning it, changing club, and guessing how hard to hit the golf ball, I tell you what, trying anything on the green from 50, 60, 70 yards down is going to be a complete guess. And I wish you luck. It'd be almost impossible. If we said, right, you're going to stick with one or two clubs, so you've got some consistency of launch and trajectory, and we know if I swing to sort of, we'll say 9 o'clock on a clock face, it goes 40 yards. 10 o'clock it goes 50, 11 it goes, or whatever it may be. And you can kind of learn that through this machine here now, giving you numbers that you can play to, so you can get on the golf course and judging your distances better. I think what's happened is you work so hard on getting your backswing completed with a long game, and credit to you, the long game you've seen, been hitting some phenomenal shots. I mean, 87 yards on the fifth in two is bloody long hitting, because I mean, that's 500 yards, but it's uphill, and it's very rarely do you get much run on the ball now, even if it's going up there with a hard fairway. You've still got to carry there. So you basically covered 420 in two. That probably equates to about 450 in two normally. So that's like 230, 220, or 235, 215. Great hitting. The frustration then comes when you walk up with a 7 because you missed the green from 80 yards and then finish at the back of the green or whatever. So if we can work and dial in these yardages, so the length of backswing will determine how far it goes. And probably leading into next session with a bit more short game, we're going to narrow the stance and make a lot smaller setup so your backswing can be a bit shorter again. So when you're next playing, think about your next length of backswing, how far that backswing needs to be to make it the right length. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Excellent. Good stuff, Glenn.